Traveling with an e-mountain bike is very difficult simply because you cannot take a battery on the plane, which is where e-bike rental is a great alternative. More than that, it's a good way of sampling this amazing sport. So today we're in northern Italy to have a look at the options of e-bike rental.
You can now rent or hire e-bikes in locations all over the globe, from some of the world's biggest cities to the world's tallest mountains, or simply some sunny Mediterranean beach resorts. The bikes come in a variety of shapes and sizes, from city bikes to full-on mountain bikes with suspension and disc brakes. But maybe it's not just the bikes you need to be thinking about.
So how do you hire an e-mountain bike? Well, a good starting point might be to find a great location with obviously some amazing trails, and what's handy is to have a good climate. Now, there's many mountain bike destinations around the world, and each of those should actually have an e-bike hire facility. And then of course you come to a place like this, Molini di Triora in northern Italy. Population of about 20. A load of old villages. It's hardly a mecca such as Leger, Whistler or Lake Garda. However, this location has no fewer than 3 e-mountain bike hire places. So whilst Molini might be full of wild boar, wolves and witches, nevertheless there's some important considerations to take into account before you come here. So you might be coming here for a day or a week, but don't forget you need to first of all book online. And there's loads of other things to think about as well, such as, do they have the right size bike for you? Are you going to be coming alone or with a group of people? Sometimes it's often good to come with like 2 or 3 people, maybe a partner or a group of friends. And then things such as, what type of trails are you going to want to ride if you come to a place like this? Obviously it has different types of riding. You have technical riding, which require a full suspension bike with suspension front and rear. Or maybe if you're going to be riding some forest tracks or some smaller back roads, then you might want to consider maybe hiring a hardtail bike, which are often slightly cheaper. Of course, there's some other things you need to bring with you if you come to a trip. Obviously, there's some people come here with just a backpack and you can rent a helmet or shoes or stuff like that. But I think it's really good to bring your own helmet if you're going to be riding technical terrain, bring some body armor or knee pads. And maybe a camera, because some of the views in a place such as this are absolutely amazing. Obviously, if you're going to be doing bigger rides, then a chamois style short for keeping your bum a little bit cozier than you would be if you're just in a pair of pants. And that's about it really. You can actually bring as much or as little as you want to.
Whilst it's very easy to simply hire, ride and be self-sufficient in most places, some great adventures can be discovered by adding a guide and possibly some accommodation to your trip. Molini in northern Italy is a great example of this and has been transformed by the advent of e-bikes. The locality has really geared up to creating trails and hospitality for riders of all abilities. We spoke to 3 locals who now run e-bike businesses in the area.
Do you think e-bike hire is a great opportunity for people to maybe just sample mountain biking?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, for anyone, even if you wanted to ride this, you fly somewhere, everything is ready for you. Yeah. You want to give it a go, it's here, you know, anybody can sample it. It doesn't have to be long technical riding, it could just be just a loop on the high mountain roads. Yeah.
E-bikes are probably unlocking a different type of trail in these mountains.
Absolutely, yeah. No, you wouldn't just use the roads just to go up the hill and then ride back down there. That's what you do with a shuttle bus. Yeah. No. We would shuttle, maybe single shuttle. Yeah. Then you're out in the mountains all day then, traversing, descents, climbing up, all on single track. We try to avoid as much road as possible. Yeah. So we're building trails now specifically for this. And this area is littered with ancient trails that people accessed. Now we're reopening it now
Yeah.
for e-bike.
What's your involvement then with the e-mountain bike in Molini, and are things changing?
Me personally, I work in conjunction with Luca from Atipico. They have the bikes they hire and they guide out.
Yeah.
We pass some customers on to him
Right.
and works from our customers. But my personal involvement with e-biking is I'd love to do it in my own time, and plus they're the perfect trail building tool.
Yeah.
You can get anywhere with it, and it's absolutely amazing for that as well. It's just a win-win, really. You know, it's great.
Sounds to me like we need to go and have a chat with Luca at Atypico then, Adi. So what have you actually got on offer here then in Atypico Adventure?
Well, we have Specialized Levo. We got 6 of them.
Yeah.
2019, and we try to be up to date with the models. We have every size, so we have from small to large size, and then we offer normal rental if you know the place.
Right, okay, so you just come and pick the bike up and take it out yourself, right?
Exactly. If you have friends that know the place, or you feel safe to go out by yourself, what we recommend is guided tour. So when you go out with a professional guide that takes you in the best place, best trail, and everything specific for you, customized on your needs and your fitness, everything.
So what, you can get like a bike hire and a guide for the day?
Yeah.
Right, or more days than that, I guess.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah. I mean, we also have a B&B right in town. Yeah. So we can offer the full package.
So Luca, you talked about earlier, people walk into the shop and they're pretty self-sufficient. They want to just hire an e-mountain bike. I mean, let's face it, it is difficult traveling with an e-mountain bike. So just renting one is a great solution, right? But the question is, what does all this cost?
It can be really cheap. You can rent an e-bike for a day for 55 euros.
Yeah.
And spend a night in the B&B for just 38 euros a night.
Hold on, 38 for staying here?
Yeah.
And breakfast?
And breakfast, and lounge room.
And you can take all your dirty kit in the room, you can get washed down, you can have breakfast and everything?
Yeah, we try to offer all the service. We got laundry, we got Wi-Fi, we got movies, games, anything you need.
Now we're about 2,000 foot down from the summit of the highest part in the Alp Maritime. We're 5,000 feet. And we've come to this pass, and can you believe it? There's an e-bike for rent, e-bike for fun, hire place at this col. It's absolutely mental. So it's a place called Refuge Alavena, and looks like they've got a fleet of Fantic bikes here. Looks like there's about a dozen in total. They've got 140s, 160s, looks like a different range of sizes for different people. But that shows just how popular e-mountain biking is in the Molini area. There's 3 places within 2 miles renting e-mountain bikes. So we're gonna have a chat with the owner of this business a bit later on. So here we are in the Refuge. It's a lot cooler in here than outside. It's 40 degrees outside. It's crazy here in the summer. How many rooms do you have here in the Refuge?
We have normally 3 common rooms, 9, 14 and 16 places. Yeah. And after we can reach till 60 places for night.
So you can come here, how much does it cost for one person
54 euros, dinner, full dinner without beverages, room and breakfast.
Wow, crikey,
breakfast,
54 euros for
54,
all that?
yeah.
Wow. So you can have all that for 54, plus you can have your bike rental for 45. Yeah. So that's like that's 100 euros per day. That's pretty good, that is, and you get to see some of the most amazing trails and sites in Europe, I reckon.
Here then is our checklist of e-bike hire. Number 1, where are you going to hire? Is this a spontaneous move or is it pre-planned? If it's the latter, then maybe you're going to be looking at booking online. Now, some shops have a range of bikes for hire, so you need to decide what type of riding are you going to do. Will you be riding off-road or on-road? Now this leads us on to what type of bike do you want? This is closely related to the type of riding you'll be doing. If it's flat, then a cheap hardtail will be fine. However, if you're going to be adventurous, then we highly recommend an e-mountain bike. Another thing to think about is how many days you're going to be renting. Now, most shops have a discount if you hire for longer periods. Don't forget to get the size right. Most shops have staff that will advise you on the right size. And don't forget 2 other things. Protection, a helmet and waterproofs are essential, and also spares. A pump, a tube and tools are simply not to be forgotten. Also check with the hirers what happens if the bike is stolen. Have you got insurance on that? And also what happens if the bike breaks. Again, check if the insurance is there to cover you. Then of course there's some extras. Do you actually know where you're going to go and ride your e-mountain bike? Maybe if you want to do some mountain biking, then a guide to get the very best out of the area is highly recommended. Maybe have a group tour, and finally have a look at some accommodation. The great thing about coming to Italy to do mountain biking is that you can have a great meal at the end of every ride. So here we are in Santo Spirito in Molini, and I can vouch this is a great place to come and to eat.
So there you go, e-bike rental. It's a great way of sampling some amazing landscapes. You might have an e-bike at home, but you can't travel with it, so renting a bike is a great alternative. Maybe you've never done e-mountain biking before, so that's where e-bike rental comes into its own. If you want to see what these bikes can do, check out a video we did from Molini, from France to Italy, just down by here. In the meantime, if you've got any questions about e-bike rental, let us know in the comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe to see more videos from EMBN.